Well, hello and welcome to the Life Freedom Mastermind training course, How to Turn Your Blog into a Sales and Marketing Machine. My name is Tamyka Washington, founder of the Life Freedom Lifestyle and home-based business and marketing mentor over at TamykaWashington.com. Now, I know there are a lot of small business owners who are building a business online, but are still struggling with trying to figure out how to use their blog to get more leads and sales. Now, there's tons of strategies and techniques you can use, but for this training, we're going to focus on the basics and what you should be doing right now, even if you are just starting your blog or looking to try a different approach to increase your results. Now, of course, you could go ahead and use social media, to blast out your links to your lead capture page or your sales pages, and you may even get some hits. However, in the long run, it's just not an effective method. And if you're looking to build a business and not just make some sales or quick cash, you have got to start thinking long term. And the truth of it is, your business is built on people, not on sales. Okay? And I'm going to repeat that. Your business is built on people, not on sales. And when you learn how to attract the right people, and we'll talk about that a little later, you'll see how the connection you create with those individuals over a period of time is what keeps you in business. Take care of the people and the sales take care of themselves. Okay? So, why the blog? Now, I can't stress enough the value of having a blog, especially if you are new online or haven't yet built a following. It is your marketing platform, and it can essentially do all of the marketing and sales for you if you have it structured and set up to do so. Now, what you have to understand is that gone are the days where we can just blast a link to our products and service and expect a flood of sales. People are skeptical of everything these days, right? Think about it. Everywhere you look, we are being sold to, right? I mean, all throughout the day, we're being asked to buy this, subscribe to that, click here, enroll in this, and on and on and on. You're on a blog and bam, a pop-up, right? You're on Facebook, boom, ads in the sidebar. You get on a webinar or conference call and there's an offer at the end to do what? To buy something. Even when you open your mailbox, there it is again. There's a coupon or some type of discount for a local store. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, because there's not. What I'm saying is that it just happens so much, we've become immune to it. We see it so much, it just doesn't grab our attention like it used to. And quite frankly, those strategies are just not as effective as they used to be. So what can you do to get more leads and sales for your business? What is the solution? Well, your blog, of course. Now, I'm assuming you already have a blog or are currently working on creating one, okay? You have to see your blog as the key marketing component to your online business, and you have to take it serious. Now, if you aren't yet comfortable enough with selling yourself, your blog can do the marketing and selling for you and will even work for you 24/7 around the clock, so you don't have to. But before it can do that, you have to have a goal in mind. Yeah, you want to use your blog to talk about your business. We all do. But what is the primary goal of your blog? Now, that can differ from person to person and business to business. Now, maybe your main goal is to generate sales from your own product. Maybe it's to build your brand. Maybe you want to create a tribe of people. Maybe you want to grow your email list. And perhaps it's a combination of things, but ultimately you want to think of your primary goal. Because once you determine that, you'll have a clearer picture of how you can start designing a plan that will allow you to reach your goal. So, if you're brand spanking new to blogging for business, or you just don't know how to pull it together so that it works for you to get leads and sales, we're going to jump into the basics right now. So I hope you have a pen and paper handy, because you're probably going to want to take some notes. First things first, you need to own your domain and web hosting, simply because it's a major part of your business. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Most people are not going to take you serious if you have a website hosted on a free platform. First impressions are everything. For example, I get messages on Facebook all the time from small business owners in all different types of industries. And recently I was contacted by a web designer who wanted me to help her spread the word about her business. And I told her to give me her link so I could take a look at her site and check out her work. And as a web designer, you would expect to visit a website that was designed by that web designer, right? However, this particular website, which was her business website, was hosted on the Wix platform. Now, nothing wrong with the Wix website, but there is something wrong with someone who wants to be taken serious as a web designer who hasn't even taken the time to create their own web presence with their own skills. I'm not comfortable referring her out to anyone in my network, because if you can't show you're serious about what you do as a business owner, how can you expect others to take you serious? And the search engines are just like people. It looks for credibility. So before you start thinking about ranking in the search engines, purchase your own domain name and web hosting, and take your blog serious from the beginning so other people can too. The most effective way to generate sales with your blog obviously starts with content. Okay? With every piece of material you put out, the bulk of your time should be spent on some strategic planning. And before you begin writing a post for the sake of getting something up and on your blog, you should first determine what is its purpose. Now, for instance, I have a blog that I use primarily to generate sales for my network marketing business. It's not my primary blog, so I don't post there regularly. But the content I created there has a specific purpose, and that is to sell my products. So when I sit down to write a post for that blog, I already know in my mind who I'm speaking to, or, rather who it is I'm writing to and writing for, and I know what my call to action is going to be, having them click on a link to go buy something. Now, this is a blog that I use as leverage to provide a passive income stream for me. And the way I do that is making sure that the content I put on it is optimized for the search engines. That way I know that once I pick and research a particular keyword for an article, it is going to get indexed by the search engines, and it's going to give me free traffic, which obviously is going to convert to sales. So after you determine the purpose of your post, or your piece of content, you want to ask yourself a few questions. Okay, number one, what is the topic of this post? Okay, what is the topic of this post? Number two, what problem will it address and solve? Okay. Number three, who will benefit from this post, or who is it for? Who will benefit from this post and who is it for? And number four, what is the goal or objective for this post? In other words, what is the result you are looking to achieve? Okay. Next, you can do some basic keyword research. So thinking about the overall topic of your blog post, what is the main keyword or keyword phrase you would like to rank for or get found for in the search engines? Okay, for example, let's say, your blog post is about working at home in your spare time, and you decide the keyword phrase will be work at home. You also have to understand that the more results turn up for your keyword, the harder it is for you to rank for it. So though I'm using work at home in this example, I wouldn't use work at home as a keyword because it's just so popular. I think right now there's like nearly 5 billion search results that come up. But play around with different variations of it, that people would realistically be searching for. A little tip for variations of a keyword you choose: if you put a keyword in the Google search bar, so let's say, right now you were to open Google and you typed in work at home, right? Then you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will see a list of terms related to your search and may work for you as well. Okay, so you can play around with those as well and kind of incorporate those too. But just for this training, we'll just go with work at home. Okay, now your title should always contain your keyword or keyword phrase. So let's say, we're using the work at home keyword phrase. Let's say you choose the title, How to Work at Home in 2 hours a day. Okay? If you have a WordPress, you can set your permalinks, which is the URL. So your URL should also contain your keyword phrase. And if possible, it should be the only term in the URL. So in our example, it would be, yourwebsite.com/work-at-home. Okay, and again, if you have WordPress, you can set your permalinks. You just go to your dashboard, select settings, click permalinks, and make sure it's set to post name. Okay. Your keyword or keyword phrase should also be used throughout your post, but it has to naturally flow. You don't want to just stuff keywords in an attempt to get ranked. You will get ranked as long as you write for people and not the search engines. But again, if your blog is fairly new and you don't have a lot of content on it, it can take a while. But I have another little SEO tip that can help you get found in the search engine quicker, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But as you are writing your post content, you should use your keyword or phrases about 5 to 6 times. Okay, formatting helps you get ranked as well. So making your keywords appear in the first paragraph, using bold font, italicized, underlined, and included in the subheading. All your keywords, you want to make sure at different aspects of your post, you're using those formatted features. Okay, make sure your posts address a problem, offer a solution, and then provide the next step you want the reader to take. And I'll talk about that a little bit later, but basically you want your content to provide the answer your reader is looking for. Then you want to direct them to the next step. If a product is the answer, you direct them to be able to purchase it, right? That's only natural. And if you have a self-hosted WordPress blog, which you should have, you can use a plugin called Yoast SEO. And it will help you make sure your content fits the bill and is search engine ready by letting you know what is good and where improvements can be made. Now, I know this seems like a lot of work, and it is, and it can take me up to 4 hours to write a post. But you have to understand, if you take these steps, these posts will forever be marketing and sales tools that you can use and will work for you over and over and over again for even years to come. Okay? Now, I want you to know that you will never see me posting income statements or proof pics on social media, things like that, because I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. But I want you to get a visual of what is possible just from blogging for your business. Now, would you spend a few hours of your time if you knew this one post would pay you for years to come? You see, this is why everyone is not making money with their blog. It's the content that gets you paid. Most entrepreneurs write a blog post and never promote it, or only promote it the day they publish it. The majority of business owners don't take the time to optimize their content like this, which is really how you monetize your blog. Everybody wants to make money blogging, but very few will do the actual work. If you want to blog for business and generate leads on a consistent basis and get sales over and over again from one post, this is how it's done. I don't know your situation, but would an extra $1,000 a month of passive income benefit your household? I mean, really, is it worth spending 2 to 4 hours of your life to make that happen? This is passive income. Okay, this is money from blog posts I wrote to market products from my network marketing business. Yes, they took hours to write, but I wrote them over a year ago. These posts still generate me sales on a daily basis. And not to get off topic, but if you are someone who wants to use the internet to build your network marketing business, this is how you can do it. A lot of times we are taught by our upline and our sponsor that you have to do home parties and 3-way calls, the belly-to-belly presentations. And yes, those things work, but they don't work for everybody. The same way blogging doesn't work for everybody. And the only reason why that is is simply because it's just not your cup of tea. So if building your network marketing business 100% online is not something you are passionate about doing or interested in, this isn't going to work for you. You know, the same way I refuse to do home parties because it's not my thing, that won't work for me. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever you do, you've got to give it your all. And my point is, don't let anyone tell you how to build your business. This is just one of many ways, and it will work for you if you work it. Okay. And I don't say this to brag, but to let you know it works. And it can for you too if you just apply these tips that I'm sharing with you. And you have to be consistent. Commit to your blog, excuse me, and treat it like a business because it is. Now, I promote these posts on my social media at the very least 2 times a week. I normally do it more, but some weeks, I'm busier than others. So at the very least, I'm posting twice a week. I use Twitter and Facebook primarily. What that takes, all of 5 seconds. I mean, really, to rake in over $1,000 in monthly sales, is that worth it to you? I mean, it is to me. I mean, if you took this serious, imagine what life would be like for you. And just to be clear, this does not represent sales I get directly from my company website or people reaching out to me on Facebook or through email. Again, this is passive income from blogging alone. Okay? This is just one of my streams of income. And another thing I should probably mention, this is not paid traffic. I don't do any paid advertising. Okay, this is strictly from search engines and social media marketing. And that only thing, doing only that, it costs you time, not money. But if you're willing to put in the effort, these are the results that you can get. Now, earlier I mentioned how to help get yourself found quicker. And that's with Google+. And if you don't have a Google+ account, you need to get one. Google Plus is obviously owned by Google, so light bulbs should be going off in your head right now. And when you share your post on your G Plus page, they can make it in Google quicker than your actual post. Another perk, you can rank for those difficult keywords like work at home a little easier. Okay. 2 of my G Plus posts made it on the first page of Google for the search term work at home mom. Notice, though, the keyword work at home is a part of that, right? Now, the only drawback to Google Plus is that these posts aren't seen by everyone, but only the people who are in your G Plus circles. So, in other words, if you and I aren't connected on Google Plus, you won't see these when you do a search for work at home mom on Google, okay? So one thing I suggest is that you add your email contacts and everyone you know on Google+. You will be able to see people Google recommends or, suggests that you may know to add. And if you spend a few times a week posting and adding people to your circles, especially those you are connected with on other social networks, you're going to increase your opportunity to get found. And plus your picture's included with your G Plus posts in the search engine. So think about how much more credibility that lends to you. And now I know when I do a Google search and I see a face I recognize, I'm more likely to stop and check out that link, right? If it's somebody you know, right? Okay, so what other tweaks can you make to your blog post? Number 1, you can include a call to action. And this simply means tell your reader what they need to do next. For my post I use to sell product, I simply place a link at the end of the post that says, either click here to purchase or click here to order now. You have to tell people what to do and not assume everyone will automatically know what to do. So call to action is a must and it should be included in every single post. Number 2, use outbound links. Now these are links that lead to other websites. And I often use outbound links to my lead capture pages, to my e-commerce store, my company's replicated website that they gave me, sales pages, sometimes even to a Facebook post, It just depends, again, on the goal of that post. Now remember, your post should educate and inspire and motivate the reader to take some sort of action. You don't lead with the sale request, but you end with it. And if you do a good job addressing concerns and questions, by the time your reader gets to the end of the post, they're already sold and they're ready to make a purchase. So you must have that option available to them. It's never good to leave people hanging because you're going to lose them. Again, you can't assume everyone knows to click somewhere to get to a sales page. So make it easy for them and for you to get the sale. Okay. Number 4, use anchor text for links. Now you should also use anchor text for links to relevant or related posts on your blog. So anchor text is just the text you use to explain, to someone where that link will go. So if your blog post is again about working at home, right? Maybe you have a post already written about work at home jobs that can link to your current, have a link inside of your current post. So the anchor text would be work at home jobs, but it's relevant to the post that the reader is currently reading, right? So that gives them a hint at what that content is about so they can decide to click on it and read more on that particular topic. If they're already on your site and they're reading information about, working at home, now if they see a link that has work at home jobs and that post is relevant, obviously they're going to click on it because they're interested in finding a work at home job or learning more about a work at home job. And this also works in your favor in the search engines as well because it tells the search engines exactly what this post is all about. It's about work at home. It's about work at home jobs. So that's going to help you to rank as well. Okay. Number 5, use the author box. Now, most people use this box to share, just their bio, but you can add a clickable link to a capture page or a sales page as well. Take advantage of this. You will have to use a little bit of HTML code to make it clickable. Just copy the code on this slide and replace it, replace the link with the one you want to use and the anchored text as well. So if you're wondering, I use a plugin called Fancier Author Box, but WordPress has an author box available. You can just use that, but that's the one I use if you want to give that one a try. Okay. Now I have some additional SEO tips for you. Getting ranked in the search engines can take some time, and you want to make sure that you help the process by doing a few things. So there are some things on your part that you can do. First, you've got to blog regularly. Obviously, the more content you create, the more Google will recognize your site. And when I say blog regularly, don't feel like you have to blog every single day. If you work from home or if you are home during the day, there's no reason why you can't at least get 3 blog posts out a week. Okay? If your time is a little bit more limited, you have to do what works for you. Even if it's 1 day a week, be consistent with that 1 day a week. Okay? So just make sure you are blogging regularly because the more content that you're putting out there, the higher your chances of getting found in the search engines. Okay? You've got to be consistent. And I mean, of course, you got to blog regularly and be consistently blogging, but what I'm saying is you have to keep your content on topic, being consistent. If your posts have, well, let me say it like this. If your posts have to stay within the umbrella of the overall topic, okay? So if your blog is primarily about, that's coffee, don't start adding random posts about dog food because you just got a dog or something, You get what I'm saying. So be consistent, stay on topic because you don't want to lose people in the process. If you're blogging about entrepreneurship, of course you can be a little bit more broad, but if you're really, if you have a topic like coffee, stick with that because that's what people are going to start finding you for. And then if you throw them off with, okay, you got a new dog and now you're talking about dog food, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. So stay consistent. Backlinks and commenting on other blogs. You want to make a habit of visiting and commenting on other blogs with a readership audience similar to yours. Okay, and this is how you create backlinks to your blog. But to get quality backlinks, meaning they actually help your blog, get found in the search engines, they have to be, a pretty popular blog. However, this does not mean you ignore the up and coming blogs or the smaller blogs, because they are usually very appreciative of your comments and are more likely to return the favor. But you will find that as you're leaving comments on popular blogs, you'll find that you'll see yourself in the search engines. You'll start to find yourself there popping up from those comments. So that's another way you can get found. Use the Yoast SEO sitemap, which is very easy. You just check the box and it creates a sitemap for you so that when Google crawls your website, it will get your newest content from your sitemap. And that'll, help you to be indexed in the search engines as well. And of course, you can manually submit your site. This doesn't work as good as it used to back in the day. So much has changed. But, it's not, they don't guarantee that your site will get indexed. However, it can't hurt, so why not go for it anyway? It takes you, a minute to just submit your site to the search engines. And, Yahoo was bought over by Bing a while back, so Yahoo doesn't have their separate link anymore. To submit to Bing and Yahoo, you just use that one link now. Okay. Using social media to promote your blog content. Now this is, again, it's very underutilized. People would rather get on social media and just blast links to sales pages and company websites and capture pages. Yes, those things can work, but they're less effective, like, I talked about earlier. Again, it should be a no-brainer, but for some reason, it never seems to be a priority for business owners past that initial publishing of a post, right? If you have a Facebook business page, believe me, you want to use it. And don't worry about not having a lot of engagement. Pages get indexed in Google, okay? They get indexed in Google, not group content, Facebook business pages or fan pages. They get indexed in Google. So utilize your Facebook business page. And you can rotate your posts on a daily basis, meaning share at least one blog post from your blog every single day. Even if you don't have a lot of content yet, if you only have 5 posts, you can still share that over and over and over again. Everybody doesn't read every single thing you post. I share old posts all the time, and it's not like, people are always going to see that. And so here's a tip to share the same post in 3 different ways on Facebook, okay? Number 1, share the post directly from your blog using social share buttons. So if you have, a Facebook share button or, a Google share, whatever, if you have a Facebook button on your blog, go to your blog, click it, and share the post right to your, your Facebook page or your Facebook business page. Boom, that's number 1. Number 2, share the same post, but instead use an image related to the content. So again, say if we're doing the work at home, maybe your post is kind of related to work at home moms. You can find a picture, make sure you have the rights to use it. Find a picture of a mom sitting maybe with her child on her lap in front of a computer. You can use that image, post a question as the status update. Maybe you could say, are you interested in being a work at home mom or learning how you could be a work at home mom? Just simple, ask the question, use the image, and include a link to the post. Okay, boom. Everybody doesn't realize that's going to the same post. You can use it later in the day. Like I like to post in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. You definitely always want to do 3 times a day, thinking about different time zones. Some people, if you post at 8 o'clock in the morning, West Coast people aren't really up or able. If they are up, they're getting ready for the day or getting ready for work. So they're not on Facebook reading stuff. So, you can catch them at a different time zone. So it's not like people are always like, you don't have to think about, oh my goodness, well, I already posted this. No, everybody is not seeing that, so it doesn't matter. Do it anyway. Okay? And number 3, share the same post, but use a few sentences from the content as the status update, and then include the click here to read more, or visit the blog here, and then include the link to that post. So what I like to do, and I also do this as well, I'll take maybe the first paragraph of a blog post and use that as the status update, and no image, no anything like that, and then just add the link. So it's different ways to attract different people. Some people are visual, so they might be more attracted to the image. Some people just want to read something really quick, and the paragraph kind of grabs their attention. They're going to click the link. So those are just three different ways that you can share the same piece of content. I'm telling you, I do this all the time, and most people think it's a new post. You know why? Because, again, no one reads every single post. Just because it's not new to you, it's not new to them. Okay? Be creative, have fun with it, and do not ignore social media. It creates momentum if you share your posts regularly. And if you have an email list, share your new posts with them as well. Same rule applies. All of your subscribers are not frequent social media users or who regularly visit your page. Just like all of them won't open your emails, but they may see your posts on Facebook. In everything you do, you have to be strategic, okay? Meeting your audience where they are and never assuming if you posted to your Facebook page, they've seen it already or vice versa. There is no assuming in business, okay? Now, these are all things you can begin applying right now and are the same methods I used when I started blogging and most I still use to this day. The key is being consistent. And if you've known me for a while, you can definitely agree. I have probably told you to be consistent at least one time or 20 times because it's the truth. And too many business owners say, they want to automate their business. They want to leverage their time and the content. They want to do this. They want to do that, but never get past the planning phase. You've got to do what's required. Okay. Then you've got to do the work until you get the results you are looking for. Did you hear me? Until. You don't stop until you get a result. Even if you blog for an entire month and all you get is one person who buys a product or one person who joins your email list, guess what? That's one more than you had before. And obviously it shows that it works. Now you just got to up the ante a little bit and do a little bit more. Okay? The more time you put in the beginning, the quicker you get the results. So hopefully this training has given you proof of what can happen for you with a little committed effort. My name is Tamyka Washington, and I thank you for listening.